Good morning, students. I, Vijayalakshmi, your teacher of English, welcome you all to Rishikul Online School. So, today we are going to discuss Chapter 5 The 100 Dresses, Part 1, and this is Module 5. Till now, we read that The 100 Dresses is a story that criticizes materialism. The author is convinced that judging people on the basis of their riches and worldly possessions is wrong. Moreover, appearances can be deceptive. The appearance of an individual may have a shabby look, but that does not reflect his or her inner self. A genius is always quiet at work, without boasting about his or her creativity. So, come on, let's read and know what happens next in the story. As for Maddie, this business of asking Wanda every day how many dresses and how many hats, how many this and that she had was bothering her. Maddie was poor herself. She usually wore somebody's hand me down clothes. Thank goodness she didn't live up on Bogin's height or have a funny name. In this paragraph, the author is trying to tell us that although Peggy had a tender heart, would weep bitterly when she saw an animal being treated cruelly, and Maddie felt upset. She felt upset at this nasty game that was repeated every day because she was herself poor and wore second hand old clothes discarded by others. However, she felt lucky that she did not live in a cheap and dirty locality like Bogin's Height, and that she did not have a funny name like Vanda Petronsky. Sometimes, when Peggy was asking Vanda those questions in that mocking, polite voice, Mary felt embarrassed and studied the marbles in the palm of her hand, rolling them around and saying nothing herself. Not that she felt sorry for Vanda exactly. She would never have paid any attention to Wanda if Peggy had not invented the dresses game. But suppose Peggy and all the others started in on her next. She was not as poor as Vanda, perhaps, but she was poor, of course. She would have more sense than to say she had 100 dresses. Still, she would not like for them to begin on her. She wished Peggy would stop teasing Vanda Petronsky. Yes, dear students, although she was poor, but not as poor as Vanda. Although Maddie was poor, but not as poor as Vanda. Still, she did not like the way Vanda insisted on claiming that she had 100 dresses. Maggie thought that if Peggy and others played the joke on her, she would not lie like Vanda. Even then, she wished that Peggy would not stop teasing Vanda. Today, even though they had been late to school, Mary was glad she had not had to make fun of Vanda. She worked her arithmetic problems absent mindedly. 8 times 8, let's see. She wished she had the nerve to write Peggy a note because she knew she never would have the courage to speak right out to Peggy, to say, "Hey Peg, let's stop asking Wanda how many dresses she has." When she finished her arithmetic, she did start a note to Peggy, absent mindedly, distracted. See now, Maddie analyzed her feelings about the entire matter but dared not talk to Peggy about it. She wanted to say Peggy that we should not ask Wanda about dresses, but stopped suddenly at the thought that she too might be made a butt of ridicule in the schoolyard. Peggy might ask her about her dress and where she had got it from. In fact, Maddie was wearing one of Peggy's old dresses that had been given a new look by her mother with the help of new trimmings. So, finally, Maddie decided to keep quiet and left it to Peggy to stop making fun of Wanda Petronsky. Suddenly she paused and shuddered. She pictured herself in the schoolyard, a new target for Peggy and the girls. Peggy might ask her where she got the dress that she had on, and Maddie would have to say it was one of Peggy's old ones that Maddie's mother had tried to disguise with new trimmings. So no one in room 13 would recognize it. In fact, Maddie was wearing one of Peggy's old dresses that had been given a new look by her mother with the help of new trimming. So Maddie finally decided to keep quiet because Peggy might ask her about her dress, where she had got it from, if she once started writing a note to Peggy about her feeling about the entire matter. So she remained quiet. So she decided to move with the same plight. Thank you for today. Tomorrow we will meet and lecture